Happy holidays and happy vlogmas, beautiful people. I am back again. I know it's been a while. I've been so busy with work. So yeah, I had to take a break. I have a lot of footage, so some of this footage you're getting, even though I'm posting it for vlogmas, some of it is November. So I have Thanksgiving, I have some trips, just me traveling. Took a few train rides. I've just been trying to get out more. Busy there right now. It's like the busiest time of year for that. You know, I work for a brand remotely, a luxury brand, and then, my own creative things, and then my own private life. Reading. I have 3 new books for the Booklovers book club that I'll be introducing in January for the first quarter. And I'm going to be getting up the reviews for the last 3 books, for Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, Such a Fun Age by Kali Reed, and The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. I'm going to get those up before December ends, but I'm going to include them in the post, I believe. I'm still working on how I want to introduce them, but I think that's going to be the best way, to just include them in the videos. Why not? Instead of doing separate videos for the reviews. All right, so yeah, just wanted to kind of jump in and let you guys know what's been going on. And happy holidays and happy vlogmas. Happy holidays to you. So, Lessons in Chemistry, loved it. Really loved the book. Great read. Really, really loved it. I recommend it. There's also an Apple TV show. It's 8 episodes of the, book version, or an adaptation of the book, and I recommend that as well. Lessons in Chemistry. I know it took me a while, but honestly, for the Book Lovers Social Club, so it is a book club, but it's also a social club, because I'll be doing my baking and chit-chatting about other things, like the adaptations of the books and things like that. I'm going to do 2 to 3 books a quarter. That's what I've come up with. So technically, I'm doing just fine, because we have Lessons in Chemistry, Such a Fun Age, and then The History of Love, which I think I'll get to that by next month or December. So we're doing just fine for quarterly, 2 to 3 books a quarter. That's going to be the goal. And I'll try to introduce them all in the beginning of the quarter, so that way if you read at a faster pace than I do, you can go ahead and get to those books, and I'm not holding anybody back. And then, every time I'm breaking down the books, we'll get a nice snack to eat, or something to sip or drink or puff on, and then discuss the books. But I'll probably do one discussion at a time. So like today, I'm going to be focusing on Lessons in Chemistry. I'll give you a little introduction to Such a Fun Age, but the actual book review I'll save for when I'm done reading the book. I won't do a breakdown, like chapter by chapter. Yeah, I'm going to get to this one soon. I have some books that are my favorites, and I keep them and just keep getting them because I love them so much. So I don't like to rush reading. It's not a race for me. But yeah, I'll talk more about it once I'm in a few here. I'll talk about, my thoughts on the book. But Yeah, I just love the book. Love the cover too, right? I had initially, when I first started reading the book, I was like, why is this cover so fun and quirky? Makes me think of a Candace Bushnell book. Candace Bushnell, who wrote Sex and the City, amongst other books. And I read that, and I love Sex and the City. So when I saw this cover, without knowing what the book was about, I loved the cover. And then when I started reading it, I was like, wow, this is kind of heavy. But in getting into the book, I get the cover now. It makes sense. Yeah, and so Such a Fun Age, totally different world from Lessons in Chemistry, which I think is good in books that I recommend. I want to try to keep the books their own individual. They don't have to be books that are similar in any way. But yeah, this is my first Kylie Reid book. I hadn't read any. Is this her debut novel? I need to look more into her background. I'll look more into it and talk about it once I do so. I think this might be her debut novel. Let me see. It probably says it right here. Yeah, I think this is her debut novel. And that's cool because Lessons in Chemistry is Bonnie Garmus' debut novel as well. So I love that. But yeah, totally different world, more present day, more of a youthful vibe in this book. So yeah, but still has some subject matter that we can relate to as women or just in life. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then we'll chit-chat a little later. much just a nice little swirl of caramel. I'm not going to do that one because that one's a mini one. That's more like my little tester. I might just do a drop. All right. So I just do a swirl of caramel. I already put cinnamon in the mix, 375 to 385. You see the caramel is kind of dissolving into the mix, and that's what we want. That's the goal. And then I just kind of pat it down. In the oven